guns.
Semi-automatics, anything you name, you're going to see it on the street. These boys got so many big guns that if they're 150 pounds, the gun is bigger than them. I swear.
But they know how to handle it, right? They know what. Tell me about the fact that they're criminals, right? This is a criminal element. These aren't just a bunch of Venezuelans that walked over the border and used to be gardeners back home, right?
Right. They come from the gangland. They come from rougher gangs than us.
One gang member who only gave his name as David on a particularly dangerous drug-dealing corner on the south side.
The real issue is that America has allowed gangs to enter our country. Gangs that they will consider ex-terrorist groups. They are formed here. We are terrorist groups and we're in the gang. They let terrorists in our country.
Well, Jaguar Wright is known to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't really co-sign anything that she says. I've never had her on my show, and I don't have any plans to have her on my show.
Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with a legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. Jaguar, I've got to leave it there. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much. These testimonies, what did you make of what you just heard?
Well, Jaguar Wright is known to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't really co-sign anything that she says. I've never had her on my show, and I don't have any plans to have her on my show.
You don't believe her?
She's got an album in 20 years, and a lot of this stuff is just stuff she's heard, things she's making up, and so forth. I'm not saying that there aren't serious things that Diddy may have done, but yeah, I can't co-sign anything that Jaguar Wright is saying, if that's your question.
Well, I mean, obviously... Shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with a legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Immigration is one of the top 2 issues, according to our polls, that voters really care about. And here at the DNC, the only time it's been mentioned has been to attack former President Trump. But there has been no acknowledgement about how the migrant crisis has affected cities like right here in Chicago. For the last 2 years, more than 46,000 migrants have come to this city, and they have been sheltered in airports and police stations and makeshift shelters. And a lot of Chicagoans that we have spoken to, well, they feel resentful, especially those who live in the Black and Hispanic communities, because so many resources, $460 million so far, have been shifted and diverted to migrants and away from them.
We have our own citizens here who've been in Chicago all their lives, their families, and they're not getting any help.
They need to start with the streets of Chicago first and then help them out.
I have relatives that came from Mexico or wherever, and we all had to struggle, so like everything is handed to them on a plate.
I think you just want to try to regulate as much as possible, try to put some parameters in place to make sure, a specific type of migrant is getting in and not just anybody.
2/3 of the money that Chicago has spent on this crisis has gone towards free healthcare. They've also given out $15,000 free rent stipends to these migrants. And look, Chicagoans we spoke to say there's about 500,000 folks here who are living in poverty, and they could use more help.
$500 million that's reportedly been funneled life and just regular citizens who are very much part of the community. And they're all furious at the estimated $500 million that's reportedly been funneled toward new migrants in Chicago since 2022. And they aren't happy either about what they say are Venezuelan criminal gangs that are leaving the shelters and spilling out into the South Side into abandoned buildings. I spoke to Tyrone Muhammad of Ex-Cons for Trump, who runs a street patrol and violence prevention program. He's gone straight since his days as an enforcer for the Gangster Disciples. And he said the situation is very tense on the South Side as turf battles between the local gangs and Venezuelan migrants heat up.
It is impossible to release gang members and criminals into our country through the borders and broken walls and infiltrate them in our community that's already impoverished, that's already broken, that's already disinvested. And when the black gangs, the leadership in the black gangs in Chicago get fed up with the illegalities and the criminal activity of these migrants or non-citizens, the city of Chicago is going to go up in smoke, it's going to go up in flames, and it's going to be nothing that the National Guard or our government can do about it when the bloodshed hit the streets, blacks against migrants.
Zach Massey did time in state prison with Tyrone Muhammad, although he's only 27. He's a leader on the streets and said he's disgusted by the money going to Venezuelan migrants at the expense, he says, of the African-American community.
I finally actually talked to him on the translator app, and he told me all the things that he got going on, how they help with the car, apartment, clothes, rent. So it's just like, I just be looking at it like, they ain't got no social security, no. Where they come from? He probably not even here legally. They get right here, they get quick housing, quick funding, food. They get cars with no license. They can't even read English and stuff like that. So they get all these perks when they get here, and we still here starving. So what we gonna do about it? Are y'all gonna listen to our cries?
Corey Rogers was a Blackstone gang member for years. He drove us around the South Side and showed us areas where he said Trendo Iwagwa and other criminal gangs are setting up shop.
The migrants that are coming, they're taking over every block right now in this area. Right now, you don't see them because they come out at night. They said they took this courtway over probably about last week. They said it was 100 Venezuelans standing out in the front right here.
Terry, is it an abandoned building? How do they just take it over?
They just, when you take over something, you just stand outside, and that's called showing the
Guns,
semi-automatics, anything you name. You're gonna see it on the street. These boys got so many big guns that if they're 150 pounds, the gun is bigger than them. I swear.
But they know how to handle it, right? They know what. Tell me about the fact that they're criminals, right? This is a criminal element. These aren't just a bunch of Venezuelans that walked over the border and used to be gardeners back home, right?
Right. They come from the gangland. They come from rougher gangs than us.
One gang member who only gave his name as David on a particularly dangerous drug dealing corner on the South Side.
The real issue is that America has allowed gangs to enter our country. Gangs that they will consider ex-terrorist groups. They are formed here. We are terrorist groups and we're in the gang. They let terrorists in our country.
Hey, salute, man. Peace and blessings to the tribe. Y'all like, share, and subscribe, man. Remember, they said it, now we speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope. You are now watching Telescope Channel. So, man, getting straight into this premium black news, as I love to broadcast and bring to you, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about the Piers Morgan thing, and we're going to be talking about these illegals, man, these illegal immigrants that's coming through the city, you know what I'm saying, pretty much getting way more benefits and getting way more, you know, pretty much substantially more help than the people that's in this country, that was born and raised in this country. Come here. I got a puppy, so you know what I'm saying. I just got a puppy. I've been really busy. I'm sorry about, you know, not posting or whatever. There's no excuses for not being productive. Just been doing a lot of other things as far as productivity, working with the family and stuff like that. Really, recently just came down with a bad cold. I don't want to say it's COVID or anything, but just recently came down with a bad cold, and now I done got a little guard dog. I got me a little puppy, so I've been, you know, tending to him or whatever. But I just felt that it was imperative that I bring this news to y'all. And talk about a lot of these subjects that's going on. Now, me personally, speaking on the Piers Morgan and Jaguar Wright thing, I see a lot of people talking about it. A lot of people of our community is talking about that. You know what I'm saying right now. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's propaganda or if it's being pushed through the algorithms or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like Star said, man, these algorithms are racist. You know what I'm saying? But I've heard about Piers Morgan for years. Honestly, through watching Tariq Nasheed and stuff like that, I heard about Piers Morgan. I always heard his name, just never cared to even go look him up. But just recently, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's mind control or what, but for whatever reason, just recently, I went to go watch Piers Morgan maybe about a month ago. I started watching Piers Morgan, and the show is very entertaining. The brother, you know, brings people on the show, very controversial hosts and podcasters and stuff like that. He brings them on the show, up on the panel. They talk about politics and things of that sort or whatever, you know, whatever's relevant. They talk about. I was watching one that was talking about Kamala, you know, whatever you may have you. They're talking about Kamala and everybody had a particular take on the Kamala and the Trump thing, you know what I'm saying? And it was interesting, and from there, I just started watching them. I just kind of got addicted to it. I just kept on watching, and I never heard nobody else besides, you know, from my knowledge, you know what I'm saying, me knowing, I never heard nobody else, from my knowledge, talking about it. So, besides Tariq, that's the only person I actually heard talk about Piers Morgan. So, I continue to watch it or whatever like that. It's very educational stuff that's on there. People got very controversial views and very objective views and stuff like that. And I think it's dope. It's a dope show, a dope podcast. And he kind of like, he lets you go on and go off. Like, it ain't no script. It ain't scripted or anything like that. Like, you know, he's in the UK. You would think that, you know, it would be like, you know, a little bit more formal. But it's a dogfight, you know what I'm saying? You know, over there in the UK, them boys using hands and knives, you know what I'm saying? So it's no help. It's no training wheels, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, no barriers. He lets you go off, like, and the panelists be on there going off, like, they be in there trolling, you know, they be in there having good talking points or whatever, you know what I'm saying, as far as, like, getting political on the intellectual side, and it's a dope podcast, you know what I'm saying? My thing is with the whole Piers Morgan thing, it's like, one person talking about something, then you see 1,000 people talking about it, and when I first started watching Piers Morgan, nobody was talking about Piers Morgan. He brought Jaguar right up there, and all hell broke loose. The man done got cease and desist letters and stuff like that. And I never found Jaguar Wright to be interesting, me personally. You know, it's just, to me, she was a female version of Orlando Brown. You know, and they keep on taking these little still shots of her and putting her up on the thumbnail with half of her head shaved off, you know. It seemed like more than anything, like, she trying to be like, you know, Cassie back in 08, you know, like, it ain't doing her no justice. Like, they already saying she crazy, and it ain't doing no justice that, you know, she looking like, what's homeboy name that played in Good Burger, man, you know what I'm saying, Kel. She looking like Kel with half his head shaved off with plaits, you know, looking like, what's his name from Mortal Kombat? The dude that be spraying the acid, man. Like, Shawty looking crazy, bro. Like, and the things that she says is just outlandish. You know, it's just so far-fetched and it's hard to believe. You know, I even heard MC Shan say some real shit, and I don't even rock with MC Shan like that, cause he be talking out the woodworks. He talk out of his head a little bit. You know, he a smoker, so he talk out of his head sometimes. But sometimes you can learn things from him smoking. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna discredit him just because he a smoker, cause, you know, I done learned a lot of shit from, you know, smokers just in the hood. They give you good parables. You know what I'm saying? MC Shan was saying, like, you know, I done smoked dope with a lot of people that's in the industry, but you think that I'm finna go out there and go put them out, you know what I'm saying? Like, you revealing and, you know what I'm saying, throwing people up under the bus that don't want to be thrown up under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Which is true. Nobody don't want to be thrown up under the bus. That's why it's called threw me up under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to be thrown up under the bus and left for dead. And the thing is with the whole MC Shan thing, how he was speaking on Jaguar Wright, I think that he was 100% correct. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got these people out here, man, get on these podcasts, man, and saying anything just because they got a voice and they looking to be, you know, platform and get some type of notoriety and status. And at this point, it seems like people are doing anything to keep notoriety and status. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of, in a sense, it's embarrassing. You feel me? Especially because it's mostly people that come from my community. You know what I'm saying? Now, the things that she was saying on Piers Morgan, I feel like that's regular Jaguar Wright. Irregular, but regular Jaguar Wright. You know what I'm saying? She says outlandish things. A lot of these things can't be proven. Some of it don't even seem like it's real or credible. And, you know, Vlad even said it. I think in a sense, Vlad was trying to warn Piers Morgan about having her on the platform. Yeah, she's good for shock value, but I think Vlad was trying to say, you know, out the gate, Vlad was like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna put that clip up there, but Vlad was like, you know, out the gate, he'd never have her on his show. He said that. You feel me? He'd never have her on his show. And it's because some of the things that she says can't be proven. Even if it was true, there's no way that she can prove it. You know what I'm saying? So people can send out cease and desist. People can sue you for defamation of character and things of that sort. And Piers Morgan does crazy numbers. I mean, like within like 2 days, you know, he be doing 3 million. I think that Jaguar Vlad interview, the world is talking about that. That kind of like stopped the world for a little moment, a little second in time. I think that did like 8 million or something like that, 7 million. That's doing numbers. But apparently they're saying that Piers Morgan has been sent cease and desist by Jay-Z and Beyonce and their legal team or whatever the case may be. I don't know, I gotta look more into that. But to me, I find that very crazy, especially like, you know, after having Jaguar right on your platform. I really don't find it too crazy, but I kind of find that a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? And she's always on Real Life Street Stars. I don't even know how they still got their platform still going. You know, I don't even know how they still got their platform, you know, staying afloat when they have her sitting on the couch for part 1s and part 2s and the outlandish things that she be saying on there, you know. But I'm pretty sure, I mean, and not to wish no bad on them boys, because I actually like the platform, but I'm pretty sure, bro, like, they gonna probably get some cease and desist. They platform, you know what I'm saying, might get demonetized if they ain't already demonetized for some of the things that she says, you feel me? So, I'm gonna keep y'all updated on that. Come here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep y'all updated on that, but most importantly, I was gonna talk about the migrants, man. The migrants coming through, man. You got these migrants coming through, and they get a little bread or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And like everything all good, like, you know what I'm saying, with them getting bread or whatever like that. But it's like, if you coming through illegally, right? You got to think about it. You coming through illegally, right? And it's people that's been here, born here, bred here, that ain't getting. They just do. They ain't getting their money. You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting what they supposed to have. You feel me? It's people that's supposed to be out here, like, not even struggling, but yet it's migrants that are living a better lifestyle than good American folks. You know what I'm saying? People that grandmothers has been here. They done raised kids in this country. You know, so to have somebody just to either sneak over here or come over here illegally and have more benefits than them, that's like a slap in the face, you know what I'm saying? Not only to them, but to their ancestors and to everything that they family worked for, you know? And you got some legal migrants over here that ain't really, you know what I'm saying? That ain't really getting they just due. You got legal migrants over here that's getting more than you got legal migrants over here that's getting less than the illegal migrants, and you got legal migrants over here that's getting more than the American citizen. So it is like an unbalance. It's really an unbalance of things. You know what I'm saying? Some of this stuff need to be checked, man. There's a lot of shit that need to be checked. You know, that people don't really want to talk about because it's unpopular opinion, or either, you know, it kind of, people feel like it puts a rift in between the communities and things of that sort. But, you know, if shit go unchecked, you know, it's like, if shit go unchecked, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna cause a flood, it's gonna cause a problem, it's gonna cause something, you know, that's gonna stop at the toilet, so to speak. This need to be some shit that we need to, you know, get the plunge in and flush out and check. You know what I'm saying? This, like, and talking about it is checking it. You know what I'm saying? Talking about it is checking it. Having a voice on it is checking it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. This is the comments. I ain't really trying to rub nobody the wrong way, but at the same time, if I ruffle a little feathers, you know what I'm saying, I'm fine with that. You know, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having unpopular opinion and, you know what I'm saying, not going with what everybody, you know what I'm saying, what everybody think I should do or what everybody think is right, you know? Because my family, you know what I'm saying, we've been here for years, centuries, and my people was enslaved. A lot of my family, you know, they fought for their rights, and they, you know what I'm saying, they were civil activists, and, you know what I'm saying, they fought for their rights or whatever, you know. They worked hard, enslaved, blood, sweat, and literal tears, you know, in these fields in North Carolina, South Carolina. That's another thing I gotta post too. I gotta post this slave video, this slave plantation that I went to with my wife, my mother-in-law, and my daughter, out there in South Carolina. And it was an experience because it was crazy that, you know, something like that was still, you know, around, let alone, you know, the European is teaching us our history, which is crazy enough. But yeah, it's something that, you know what I'm saying, it's something that need to be looked into, man. Like, I feel like, you know, man, it's a lot of shit that need to be looked into, but that's definitely something that need to be looked into as far as, you know, why all of these people like fluctuating over here. Then you got illegals over here that are taking over whole communities. You know, eating cats and shit like that is crazy, but just them, like the gangs and taking over the communities and shit like that. Like they're saying, like, people coming over here, taking over the communities, selling drugs, and the black, they doing it, they so abrasive with it, they doing it to the point where black people can't even sell drugs. Like they get money how they used to get, you know, in their own hoods no more. You know what I'm saying? And it became something that's a problem for the black folks. And it's all drugs, and I'm not saying drugs is good to be doing or whatever, or to be selling, but it done became a problem for them, and they pretty much, like, you know, they done went Ivy League with this shit, like, you know, as far as how the black folks was doing it, they was on a high school level. These boys done went like Ivy League with this shit, you know what I'm saying, college level, collegiate level with this shit, you know, and they ruling it right now in Chicago. They ruling the drug game with an iron fist right now. You know, these gangs have come down there selling drugs, taking over territory and things of that sort. And not only that, it's to the point where, you know, the people that's in the town and that's from that way, they fed up, and they saying it's gonna be all out war. If the commissioners and the people of the city, the governors of that city, the mayors of that city don't do anything about that, the mayors of that state, I'm sorry, the commissioners and the mayors and the governors of that state don't do anything about that problem, about this quote-unquote migrant problem, violent migrant problem, it's gonna be all out war. I mean, it's already, as we know, you know, it's already bloodshed down there in Chicago. I mean, I bet the different. I like to think that, you know, contrary to popular belief, I like to think that a lot of them shootings that's happening down there in Chicago is already orchestrated by the government to promote propaganda. But that's my opinion. I don't want to get it too much in the conspiracy thing or whatever. I'll just go off of what the information that we have on the flow, and that's presented to us. But I say that to say these illegals are not only causing a discomfort, right? They're not only causing a discomfort for the American citizens, but also causing a problem where it can be all out war. And even talking about this election, man, you know, if the wrong person win, man, it's gonna be a civil war, man. It is. I can already see it. So y'all better be scrapped up, man, and get ready. It's gonna be a civil war. It's gonna fall out. All hell gonna break loose. Whether it be people getting slammed and getting crazy time, you know what I'm saying, and trying to, like, you know, people getting crazy time by the penal system, and that's they get back, you know, blood being shed, you know, on the ground, you know what I'm saying, on ground zero, blood being shed by the American citizens, you know, people being fed up. It's a lot, man. It's a lot that's gonna happen. It's a lot that's gonna happen if the wrong person win, man. The wrong person win, it's a lot of bad things that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna get a little more information, man. I'm gonna come back to y'all with some more news. Remember, man, they said it, now we speaking on it. I'm Mr. Telescope, and you are now watching the Telescope channel. Y'all check out some of these clips, tell me what y'all think. Jump in that comment section. I know I haven't been here in a while, so I need that engagement. I make sure y'all engage. Make sure y'all comment below, tell me what y'all think. Hit that like button. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't already subscribed. And yeah, man, Telescope.